Do not adjust your sets. This is not a Citroen BX. This is a Peugeot 205. You probably knew that already because, well, these are quite well-known cars. This is a 205 GTI. You probably knew that already because they're quite well-known cars. These are probably considered to be the best hot hatchback of the 1980s. By most people, as an all-round package. Maybe. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, please, for the love of God, just get on with it, use the chapters along the bottom, skip. If you don't want to do the whole, well, the length thing that we do to make these videos longer so that you can put mid-roll adverts in them and earn money from it rather than just doing it for free for everybody. Yeah, you can skip, you can go through the chapters and you can just go to the runs, but you might have missed the vital information. I might have told you this guy is hiding a turbo. You wouldn't know. That would spoil it. So we brought this example to the Rolling Road today. This is an E-Reg car, which makes it an 87 or 88. I believe this is going to be the later version of the 1.6 litre engine. This is a 205 GTI 1.6. This is not the all singing, all dancing 1.9. Are there many differences between them? There's not actually that many. We'll go through them quickly in a minute before we spin this thing up to see if it can still do 115 horsepower that Peugeot claimed back in the day. Now, we know from previous Peugeots and Citroens, cars from the PSA stable, that some of them tend to be a bit pessimistic with the numbers, and they actually make more. There have been others where they don't. I don't know where this is going to fall in, because this is the first time I've put a 205 GTI 1.6 on the dyno. I've never dynoed a car with this version of the XU engine before. This particular car is actually a really original car. It's one of the reasons I was keen to put it on here. It does have gold wheels on the side, but that's just paint. I don't think they're going to add power. Otherwise, it's a standard car. Standard airbox, standard ECU, standard exhaust, standard everything. The exhaust is actually very standard, as in old and a little bit fruity. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. This will count as a standard 205 GTI. Let's have a look under the bonnet and see what, I wasn't going to say treasures lie underneath, but I know what it is. It's an XU5. So this 1.6 GTI, as I say, a very original car. Although, would this have had a lacquered bonnet from new? Peugeot 205 experts, would this have had a lacquered bonnet? Because I see the lacquer peel there, very Peugeot. But were the solid red cars lacquered? I don't think they were. So we will, his bonnet releases rust. Right, hang on. There we go. So this lovely little thing was bought in lockdown back in 2020 as a project. It was going to be a car as a kind of project, I think, for him and his other half to do. The plan was to work through it, get it running, get it kind of operating properly, and then restore it bodily. One of those things has happened. Yeah, basically, they've just been driving it. I mean, it's got dog hairs in the back seat. It's being used as dog transport. The 205s are wonderful little things. So in here, we have a 1.6 litre XU5 engine. This is the XU5, I believe this is the XU5 J2. Has he still got his IT tag on? I mean, I don't think. Oh, yes, it has. Right. I'm going to find out for sure for him. Right, so I've cleaned off his engine code, and it is B6D. Which means it is indeed the 115 horsepower higher compression version of the 1.6. 115 horsepower is the target for this. But in terms of condition of this car, I'm told mechanically it's good. The gear change does feel snickety, nice and tight, although the clutch is pretty much end of life, it feels like. It runs really nicely. And the thing with these engines is that a lot of people have their opinions about whether the 1.9 is better or the 1.6 is better. The thing with this engine is that it's the same engine as a 1.9. The bore is the same. So the thickness of the cylinder, the bore of the cylinder is the same. But these are much, much shorter stroke. A 1.9 is just a stroked 1.6. That means that this engine is much snappier on the throttle than the 1.9, which gives it that kind of eager kind of impression that people get from them. The 1.9 is considered a bit torquier and a bit lazier, which it is because it's a longer stroke engine. These are good fun, and with a shorter final drive, slightly lower curb weight, drum brakes on the rear on this one, is the 1.6 the more fun version? There's a case for it. They did make a BX with this engine, for our BX fans. The BX16 GTI in Portugal, I think it was, or Spain, because they couldn't have 1.9s because of tax reasons or something. I don't know. Have I waffled enough? Should we run this thing up, see what it does? The owner's, his wife said, I think she said 96, but I think she was regretting her pessimism, and he was thinking 100. If this thing's healthy, I think it's going to do 112, 114. These Peugeots, they tend to do what they're supposed to do. I don't know what fuel it's running. All I know is there's a bit of a hole in the exhaust on the downpipe. Wow, would you look at that? It's making 116 horsepower at 1 RPM. You don't need to be an expert in these matters to figure out that's probably not right. Basically, there is an RPM signal here, an RPM sensor connected, and it lost it halfway through. I've struggled already with this car to get the RPM thing to read properly. I don't know if the leads are not particularly well insulated or something, but the revs are very, very sketchy. So as far as numbers go, we've got, well, there are a few things to note here. 116 horsepower there is about actually what I would expect. However, 82 horsepower at the wheel is quite low, because that means we've got a power loss of 33 horsepower, which is too high. But I think I know why that is. It has the mother of all wheel bearing sort of noises coming from it. It's howling. How they haven't noticed that on the road, I don't know. It's possible they haven't, because the dyno is like, it's perfectly balanced rollers. If you've got a tyre that's ever so slightly out of balance, it gives you a massive wobble. You wouldn't even notice it on the road. But this is like, yeah, that's really loud. So, I mean, it could be the drive shaft bearing, the intermediate bearing on the drive shaft. Could be the diff. I don't think it is the diff. I think it's probably a wheel bearing. But yeah, that's probably accounting for our power losses. There's a little bit of, well, drag is probably the best way to put it. And for that reason, I can't do another run. I can't do it. I can't in good conscience do another run. I'll see if it comes out on the video. I'm not going to do a run, but I'll run it up on inside and see if you can hear it. A real shame, actually, because, yeah, the little 205 is a very fun car to play around with. Very blowy exhaust. But, yeah, so if I can hear it already. Can you hear that? It's so loud. Hang on, if I bring the revs up and then take... Wow. It's not vibrating, it's not out of balance, but yeah, one of them wheel bearings is absolutely shagged. And it would not be right to do another pull, because if it's dragging 33 horsepower power losses, that is extreme. Something somewhere will be getting hot and is not happy. So what I'm going to suggest is that we put a pin in this one. We will send him away and tell him to change all his bearings and fix his exhaust, and then come back. But I think that 116 is genuine. The dyno works things out based on torque at the wheels, or it calculates power at the wheels based on measuring torque and then applying the rotation that it's doing on the dyno, but it doesn't know the rotation speeds that the engine's doing, so it can't give us all the engine figures, but it does figure out the corrected flywheel figure based on the power losses against the air pressure, air temperature, everything like that, which is why we've got some numbers on there that are meaningful numbers. The 116 horsepower, I think, is real. I believe that's right. It can't give us the torque at the flywheel because it doesn't know what the engine's horsepower, it doesn't know what the engine's RPM is. It might have hung on long enough to get some of the details, but yeah, it's kind of annoying. I would do another one, but we'll do it again. And if we'll come back, we'll do it again. We'll do a take 2 video with this car. And if it transpires that the leads are still playing silly buggers and we can't get decent signal, I'll manually match it to the computer. But yeah, I'm not going to put the car through it. It would not be right. But you know, still made a video, didn't it? For 159,000 miles, she's pretty good. But then these old XU engines, mileage is just a number.